What's up YouTube, this is the Keyboard Warrior here, and today I'm back with another video, and this time it's gonna be another tier list. This is going to be a very different tier list. It's going to be about how difficult the characters are to play. So I have categorized the list as very hard, hard, average, easy, and very easy. Before I start, let's just clarify one thing. When I talk about difficulty, it's a wide range of things that I take into account. For example, just frame inputs, tricky setups, overall stances, overall move list, a lot of tricky moves. Everything is taken into account. Also, I'm rating the characters in terms of how technically good you need to be to use them. So that is what the tier list is based on. Okay, so let's start off with Jack 8. He's a much better version of Jack 7 and he's super good. But the thing about this character is you need to be very fundamentally strong to play him. His move list is not like Yoshi or anyone like that. Not like 1,000 stances or something like that. He's a very strong character who needs a user who understands the game. So if you talk about difficulty, I would say he's definitely not easy. So for now, I would put him in average. Okay. Jin, they have simplified Jin a lot, and he does have just frame inputs. But even if you don't do the just frame input, you still get a launcher, and he has several launches. He has a hop kick. He has two hop kicks, a double hop kick and a single one. He has a counter it counter it low launcher. He has a lot of things to work with. So even if you don't use the just frame input, you would still be able to play Jin. But he has so many tools that users often get overwhelmed, especially if you are new to this character. For now, I would keep him in average, but I'll see how the rest of the roster turns out to be, and then I might just move him to hard. I don't know. But he's definitely not an easy pick. Jun is easy. She is beginner friendly, and I would put her in the easy tier. She's also top tier. She's probably one of the S tier characters at the moment. When people start to understand how her moves work, probably she would come down the tier list. But as of now, she's an S tier character, but she's easy to play. Kazuya, hard. This guy is very hard to play. Not like the very hard. This guy is super hard to play. He has just frame inputs. His overall kit, his tools, they need execution. So if you are new to the game, this is probably one character you should stay away from. He's like, you need good execution, and he's also very risky, but he can reward you well. He has decent damage, he has a great 50-50, but it all comes down to your execution. King, I would say, is average. King has a huge move list, and he has plenty of throws, plenty of setups, lot of setups. You basically need a lot of time to learn King. So if you're new and you're picking up King, you would have to invest a lot of time into this character because his move list is huge. His setups, there are so many setups that you can do with King. Lars, I would say easy. Lars, maybe very easy. Lars is very easy to play, one of the easiest characters in the game, and also top tier. So the two top tier characters in Tekken 8 are easy to play. So yeah, Lars' stances are very easy to do, even though he can get caught in his stances at times, but his overall kit is super easy to perform. His overall tools very good, and his difficulty level is very easy. Like, it's one of the easiest characters in the game. Law, Law is in between hard and average, so I might just put him in hard. Okay, a lot of people might argue that DSS is a lot easier in this game, but hear me out. I know DSS has become a lot easier, but at the same time, it's still a little difficult compared to these characters. Like, is. Oh, I would put him in average, yeah. No, if you can just learn the new DSS in like probably in a few days, it's not as hard as it used to be in Tekken 7. Tekken 7 Law used to be a very hard character just because of his DSS, and they made that easy. So I would put him in average. Paul, I will put him in the easy tier. He's one of the easiest characters to play, but you need to have some sort of fundamental knowledge to understand how to use Paul, because he's not a spam machine. You know, there are some characters in this game that you can just, you know, go ahead and spam. You can't do that with Paul. He has hard hitting moves. A lot of them depends on your timing and knowledge, but still, uh, he is actually a very easy character. He's one of the first characters I played, and trust me, it didn't take me long to learn him. Nina is hard. Nina is the best example of easy to learn, hard to master. Her butterfly loop is one of the toughest moves in the game, and she is actually a really hard character if you want to master. She has so many things going on, a lot of tools. Zayu is, I would say she is um, okay. Zayu is pretty average, even though she has a very complicated move list, but to some extent I've seen users, majority of them just go ahead mashing. They, to some extent, if you're a beginner and you're picking up Zayu, you could just mash and win. Overall, if you ask me, the only difficulty with this character is her entire move list. That's it. If you check the move list, you'll be like, oh my god, how do I learn? If you spend time with this character, you'll eventually learn her. Asuka is super easy. Again, I always say Asuka is brain dead. Asuka is one of the easiest characters in the game, and she is super strong as well. Leroy, okay. Leroy is very easy to play. He's a beginner friendly character, and I would definitely suggest beginners go with Leroy. He's super strong, and he's also easy. Lily is, I would say, average. Uh, okay. Again, Lily is one of those characters that you need to have fundamental knowledge to use properly. A lot of people just go on mashing with her, you know, all those flips and everything. But if you want to use this character to her full potential, you need to understand how Tekken works. If you're new to Tekken and you are picking up Lily, you would probably be mashing, you know, all those flips and everything, and you might just get away with it at the initial levels. But at higher levels, it will become difficult if you don't know much about the game. So fundamentally strong character. Horang. Mm, Horang. I would say Horang is above average because again his move list is huge. There are plenty of, there are like 1, 2, 3, 4 stances, and his just frame skyrocket is actually difficult to do. So there's a lot of things to learn when it comes to Horang. But can you live without the skyrocket? You sure can. You can. He's not as hard as Kazuya, but he's definitely not the easiest character in the game. And people who actually think that you can just mash with Horang and win, they're wrong. Trust me. Horang is one of those characters that is perhaps the last character you want to mash with at higher levels. Initial levels, yeah, you can mash with any character and win. People don't know the matchup. But at higher levels, when people know what Horang does, they're just gonna sidestep you. He's so weak to side steps. So at higher levels, you have to use his more advanced tools. You have to understand the game, the fundamentals. You just can't go ahead and mash your kicks at opponents. No, that's not how he works. So I would have put him in hard, but to some extent you can live without his just frame skyrocket. So I would put him in average. Claudio, I put him in the easy tier. Great character and easy to play. His back one is super strong. So overall easy to play and beginner friendly as well. Azucena, easy because of her stance. Um, very easy to do moves. Very super easy to do combos with her. A little becomes a little complicated because she's very new to the roster, and or else I would just put her at very easy. So yeah, that's it. Dragunov, he's between average and easy because rest of his tools are easy, while his stance cancel combos could just be a little tough for beginners. So I would put him at low average. And he's top tier, by the way. He's one of the best characters at the moment. His while running 2 is much easier to do than it was in Tekken 7, and overall he's got new moves and he's really strong now. Raven is easy. He is one of the easier characters out there. You can get away with doing a lot of moves, but he's very unsafe. That's what makes him average in this game. Kuma, probably easy. Panda, easy. These characters, they give you wins because not many people play them and people don't know the matchup. And it's been like 25 years, almost like 25 years these characters are there and people still don't know the matchup. So there has to be something wrong with these characters. Like, they're not the most popular ones, but undoubtedly they are good characters. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're just not popular. So difficulty rating, they are both very easy to play, not that difficult. Leo is probably average. Yeah, not not he's not more difficult than Jean. Yeah, Leo has very good tools, very strong character, and struggles with his punishment a little bit because his staple punishment back in Tekken 7 1-4 now transitions into his stance, which often results in him getting punished. His overall kit is very strong, more moves transition into stance, that makes it a little bit more complicated. So average at best. Yep, not that difficult, not very hard. Shaheen is easy to play. I find Shaheen very boring. A lot of people complain in the last tier list as why I just put him in D tier. It's simply because he's boring and no one really plays him, and also he's a very easy character to play and does not really have that effective moves. This is what I feel. That is how I feel about the character, and he's definitely easy to play though. Steve, our first pick for very hard. One of the hardest characters in the game, and the entire roster plays in a certain way, and Steve plays in a certain way. This dude does not have kicks. He has his stances and his sway movements like a boxer would have, and he is super strong. But the execution level required for this character is just out of the world. So if you're new, if you wanna play Steve, I won't say that's your pick. Steve is not for beginners. You might try to learn the game with some other character and then later switch to Steve. Yoshi, hard. Yeah, Yoshi is harder than Hyorai. Yeah, Yoshi I would put in the hard tier because of, again, the huge move list, the number of setups, that you can do, number of tricks that you can do. Often users get overwhelmed. Sometimes it's super unsafe. To effectively play Yoshi, you need to invest a lot of time in this character. So yeah, he's not as hard as Kazuya or Steve, but definitely harder than Horang and Law. Yeah, Pengwei is easy, not very easy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Feng is a poke machine. He has one of the best poking in the game. Even though he was top tier in Tekken 7, he's no longer now because people know what he really does. And his game plan is very obvious right now. His overall move list is not that hard and a decent beginner character as well. So you can go ahead and pick Feng if you are new. He's not that hard to play. Alisa is also easy. She's a robot and she has some really cool looking moves. Flies all over the place, but she's beginner friendly and also easy to play. Her stance moves, the chainsaw thing, gives you a lot of plus frames. Devil Jin should be hard. Yeah. So again, very similar to Kazuya and Jin, and he's got a lot of tools. Probably one of the S tier characters, but he's also very difficult to play. Just frame inputs, his overall setups are complicated. His combos could just be a little difficult for beginners. When I put someone in the hard tier, I always see if they are more difficult than the average tier. So if you compare Devil Jin with Horang, of course Devil Jin is more difficult to play. Alright, Lee, another character who is very hard to play. Our second very hard to play character. I respect Lee players a lot. He is so difficult to play and definitely not a pick for beginners. Zafina. Zafina is probably average. Like she's between easy and average. She's a very strong character with many complicated setups. Uh, Beginners might get overwhelmed with her move list. But if you want to challenge yourself, you can obviously pick her. But she's not easy and she's not difficult, super difficult. So I would just put her in average. Victor. Uh, Victor is probably again between easy and average. Victor is very unsafe. You know, the problem with this character is his frames. He's very unsafe, which is why you need to be very good at Tekken. You need to be fundamentally strong to understand how to use this character. Even though he has great range, but you still need to be very fundamentally strong to use him correctly. Brian, I would put him here. But if you actually include taunt in his gameplay, he would go here. Taunt jet upper, undoubtedly perhaps the toughest move in the game. But if you actually cancel out his taunt moves from his game, he would probably end up somewhere in average because his entire move list is not that difficult. But he becomes very difficult only when you include taunt. His overall combos are not also super easy to do, so he's probably between hard and average without taunt. But with taunt, one of the hardest in the game. Reyna, okay. Reyna I feel is difficult to play. She's not average easy. Like, if you ask me, is she easier than Horang? No. Is she easier than Law? No. Is she easier than Jin? No. She's more difficult than these characters. That's why I put her in hard. So whenever you see a character over here, you try to compare him with the characters in the tier below. Like if you compare over here, if you compare Kazuya with Law, can't say that Law is tougher than Kazuya. Kazuya is definitely more tough to play. Alright, time for some adjustments. Let's see. Um, okay, 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 okay. Yeah, seems about right. In hard? No, above average. Just because now his crouch dash 2 launches, so probably, yeah, average. Just between hard and average, so yeah. Okay, so this is what my final list looks like. Feel free to discuss about the tier list in the comment section. Just don't be toxic. This is how I feel the characters are ranked according to their difficulty levels, and it is not necessary that you would agree with me. You know, tier lists are always something that not everyone agrees on, so there is no reason to hate on it. All you need to do is have a fair discussion. That's it. So I guess that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching. I would really appreciate if you could subscribe to this channel. It really means a lot to me when you do that. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you like this video, and stick around for more guides in the future. Peace out.